Hey guys, this is Abe, and this is a quick video here tonight for a recap for today and a look at the levels for tomorrow, 10/3/2022. Without any further ado, we'll go ahead and switch straight away to the chart. So, as you guys can see here in the morning, we kind of started the day by pulling back a little bit over here to this demand zone, which is kind of like the base that we had around the 3600, and we bounced from there, reclaimed the 3630, reclaimed even the 3660. We based here in this area and moved on to about 3700. And here overnight, the action, we actually broke right above the 3700. We're like basing around this area over here between 39 or 3690 all the way to 37 um, 15 or so. Yeah, probably about 17 actually is the highest point that we reached. So these are the levels that I'm looking out for tomorrow. So if we end up having a pullback, which I think we probably should, even though it doesn't have to happen, your first level that you need to watch for is the 3660. Definitely for the bulls, they don't want it to go any lower than the 3630. This is going to be a red flag for the bulls and a green flag for the bears. If that happens, if we claim this level here, the 3630, or claim below it, basically, there's a good chance that we probably will continue test 3600 and maybe even a little bit lower. However, if this level over here, if we come back down here or maybe a little bit lower and come back up, this would be like a nice trade actually. If we, let's just go ahead and move to the brush. Let's just say we pull back over here and we reject. We have a confirmation for this rejection over here. There's a good chance we move back to 3700 on to 3725 and 3745. This area over here is going to be high importance area. But there's been several rejections here in this zone, and you definitely don't want to risk it. I do see the price trying to go back up if we claim these two levels, probably even upwards of 3780 or so, or maybe a little bit lower than that, maybe, somewhere above here. However, if that happens, you will see like somewhat of a head and shoulders happening. Now, that may not happen. As far as like the pullback to the 3660 or so and a bounce from there, we can continue basing over here overnight, and tomorrow you'll just have like a quick reaction. And if that's the case, what you're gonna wait for is a break and a reclaim over the 3725 area. And if that happens, your first target will be about 37 45, and from there, like I said, we could probably go upwards of 3780. However, let's go ahead and take a look at this purple line that I have. This is from the broadening formation that we've had previously here, if you guys remember. Uh, right from here in this area. If it is clear, I'm sorry, there's a lot of lines over here, but maybe I'll go ahead and yeah, usually I keep them because these are all levels of importance that we need to watch for. Remember, this is where the CPI report happened. So anyways, if there is a pretty good chance that you might see like a break and probably some kind of a reaction over here in this area. So be very careful whenever you're going, when we're going kind of like to the upside. Like to me, ultimately, I would say there is a better chance for us testing this yellow resistance line, which could happen right around this area, the 3780 or so. And there is this area over here of consolidation right around between 3780 and even 3800 area, I would say. Maybe we'll come back and visit. And again, to take a look at the overall market, this is, just one green day, obviously. Whenever we looked on the weekly, when I showed in the video yesterday, we showed that out of this last 7 weeks, we only had one green one. So is it I was saying, does it look like a sell? No. It looks more like a buy than it was a sell, just because of the area that we were in. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and switch real quick to the market net flow today. It was, I have to say, it was pretty nice, clean, bullish action, even though in the beginning of the day we showed a little bit of red, as you guys can see over here. The data wasn't showing timely in the very beginning of the day, so it was kind of annoying to be honest. But nonetheless, the price action on the chart was telling us all we needed to know. However, this continued with very strong bullish action. As you guys can see, we had our bullish cross over here. Calls continued to move up with really high volume, and the puts continued to move down. This is kind of like what you want to see on a bullish day. Calls moving up and puts moving down. Moving down here a little bit to the delta exposure to DEX, and you guys can see that we had a very, very decent green day. And so um, that tells me chances are tomorrow will be green. Um, I'm honestly just looking by the overnight action over here on the chart. If I switch on it, you know, it's pretty decent, honestly. It's holding up really, really good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see tomorrow maybe just not going much to the downside, maybe even touching 3680, honestly, I would say. Just look at this area over here that we have, kind of like a little demand zone. We might come back, tap into this area. That's if it happens, and we move up to the upside. But from the looks of it right now, I wouldn't be surprised for us to break above 37.25 by the morning. Um, Pretty much the market was looking really, really nice, and except for Tesla, pretty much everything was green. And Tesla just held on the level to the downside. Um, we broke below this 256 area. We held below this area over here. And as long as we are below this level, it's not going to look so that great for it, right? Now, we are somewhat in this little downtrend channel, as you guys can see over here. We can say we are at the support. So there is a chance probably over here to come back and test this 256 and maybe even higher, upwards of 260 or even 265, 266 area, kind of like upwards this resistance. As you guys can see, the support and the white line over here, we broke it and we broke below this support over here at 256, so $256. So chances are we might go back up. There is also a gap that fills upwards of $266. So, I wouldn't be surprised for Tesla, probably base here for a little bit and then from there bounce right back up and test this area over here. Once you reach this area, you need to be careful because you're just going to either wait for a break outside of this downtrend channel and see if we're going to continue higher and test these levels of resistance at 280 and from there upwards of 290 even. But if let's just say if you want to take a long position here at this level, you would have you know I would say probably this low over here should be the 237 or so. If probably be a better entry, I would say. This way you give yourself a little bit of room down here for a stop loss. If that didn't happen, we're just gonna have to wait until we see some kind of a confirmation here with like maybe a move to the upside, create a little bit of resistance if that happens, and then come back and break it. You enter at that, and then you start scaling out at these levels that we see 256, 258, 260, 266, which is your gap fill over here in this area. Gold looked very strong today. It's worth noting over here. As you guys can see, we had this level of 1680. We broke right through it. We broke above this downtrend resistance line, this magenta color line. I think what I would like to see probably another like a retest to this area and a break above. And if that happens, you can enter at the break of 1700, I would say 1710. And from there, target will be somewhere upwards of 1743. And probably we'll see some chop in this area. But we could see like a little bit of a move upwards of this area over here, around 1750 or so. In the meantime, looking at the US dollar index, Dixie, like I said, what I would like to see for it is to come back down here to test this area over here, maybe down to this level even. If it touches here, we'll see maybe we can see a bounce from this area to the upside from here. But as of right now, I would say this is not a long unless it breaks upwards of, let's say, 112,694 looks like is the level. Unless it breaks above that, this is not a go for a long side. And as long as we break and hold below the 111,600, I would say this is going to be a nice trade to the downside. That could probably be reflected on crypto. I would say you might see somewhat of a bump on crypto while we have Dixie dropping down over here. So like I said, I'm really more leaning towards the downside just for to fill this imbalance area over here. With that happening, you probably will see a rip in equities, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of a relief bounce. Again, going back here, we only talked about the bullish case that we have here on ES, but rightfully so. This is definitely looking, um, like it's about time for it to bounce back up. But let's talk about the bearish bounce, the bearish side over here. I definitely wouldn't even look at a bearish scenario unless we break below 3630, and I will be watching very, very carefully around the 3600. Unless we break 3600, you know, uh, obviously this is gonna be a possible scenario for a pullback and just a continuation to what we started today. Um, as far as options go, you know, today, I mean, I've seen quite a bit of Tesla but puts were aggressively bought, but you just have to be careful with these things. Just because it's big money that is moving doesn't mean that it's smart money. People can be rich and dumb, and so they can drop a lot of money and they can be wrong. And you just need to remember that the market can be irrational for longer than you can be solvent. I mean, just imagine today this nice move that we had while Tesla was still red. And look at the overnight action. This thing is still trying to move up. I mean, this is definitely impressive for an overnight move here for ES. As a matter of fact, for future traders, I'm pretty sure they're doing flips tonight. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet here for this video. If this is the first time for you watching this video, please consider like and subscribe. And also, if you trade options, would like to trade live with us, I would leave the link for the Discord in the description below. We're running a special for the first month for free. Just go ahead and join us, and you'll see the details in the server. We'd love to see you there. Just give it a shot, and no commitment, no hard feelings. If you'd like to cancel, you can cancel at any time. But we'd love to have you with us and give us a shot. We had a pretty solid day today with 100% win rate, as a matter of fact. This is, every now and then we get one of those days, but it's pretty nice, solid group, very nice group of people. Um, and that's about it. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.